This is a mini art kit. It is small, but it contains everything I need to make micro little pieces of art in small pockets of time. Welcome to day 1 of my 7-day micro art challenge. Now, I love inspiring you to sit down and make something, even if you think you don't have time. So if you want to see how to use very limited supplies and make tiny little pieces of art, then join me. The aim of this challenge is just to show you that with very limited supplies and very little time, you can actually sit down and create something. Because the point is not being good at art. The point is taking time out of your daily rat race to sit down and make the art. So I am hiding in the bedroom with my cup of tea so I can actually have it while it's hot, and I've got my little mini art kit here. So the whole point, and I just dropped everything, so the whole point of this is to inspire you to find time. There is time in a day to sit down and make art. Like I said, it's not about what you make, it's the fact that you are making it. That is why this challenge does not have a hashtag where you're going to share all your work, because I intentionally did that because I want you to show up for you. I don't want you to show up to get Instagram likes or be pressured to make something to post. I want you to show up for you. The other thing is that a lot of people stop halfway through a challenge because they look through the hashtag and they see everybody else's work and they go, oh, these people are really good. But what you're actually doing is comparing your start to someone else's middle or to someone else's like master level that they are at. And that is absolutely not what I want you to do. You need to be okay with sucking at something for long enough to get actually quite good at it. I have 3 kits that I want to share with you that you can get inspiration from so that you can see like what is the minimum amount of supplies that you need to do something like this micro challenge. That is to help you just get over the overwhelm of having too much products or not having the right product or not having what I have on screen. Okay, I want to show you like there's so many things that you can actually use to do these micro pieces of art. Let's see what is in this one. So the bare minimum that you're going to need is a color medium. I am using a paint dot card. If you don't have a paint dot card, don't worry. You can use a small set of watercolors or watercolor pencils. That kit is coming up tomorrow. You need small pieces of paper. I cut these really small, probably slightly bigger than a postage stamp. Then you are going to need a water brush for your watercolors, and you are going to need a pen of some sort. I have got the fine liners, the Montmartre ones. Any waterproof fine liner will work fine. That's it. That's all you need. I intentionally have you here in a very small spot in the corner on my dressing table, just to prove to you that you can literally make art anywhere. Okay, so I've already done one. I've got another one on the back. You'll see more of these coming in the next few days of the challenge. So I'm going to recreate this little one for you just to show you how quickly it goes. I am using a paint dot card. These are available from so many suppliers. I make my own, so if you do my color theory classes, you'll get some. Otherwise, just if you have tubes of watercolor paint, make your own. If you don't have this, tomorrow we're doing the watercolor pencil kit, so stay tuned for that. You're going to need 1 pen. I used the 0.05. I'm going to need my small piece of little paper, my water brush, and I'm dropping more things. Okay, so I started with my yellows, the lightest one, lemon yellow. Doesn't have to be this, it doesn't have to be 3 flowers, and could be 1 flower. Okay, let's do 1 flower just so you can see the difference. So the prompt for today will be on the screen. It's called Blobby Blooms. So I'm just making like a mushroom shape. And then while that is wet, you can see it's very little product that I'm using. I'm dropping in some of the warmer yellow or an orange, whatever you have. And then I'm going to drop in some of the brown. This is burnt sienna. Any darker tone that's just going to darken up. That doesn't have to be perfect. That's it. That's all you need. Okay. Little piece of paper towel just to clean your brush. I'm just blending that a little bit more. That just needs to dry. That'll take a couple of minutes. I'm gonna have a sip of tea while that dries. This is dry now. It took literally a couple of minutes. I had a few sips of tea, and now I am going to do the petals. Now you can see that they are very scribbly. They're not perfect. This is not about making Instagram worthy, gallery awesome art. This is just about sitting down, being present, and playing with some art supplies. Okay, so we are going to add some scribbles here. This does not have to be perfect, and I intentionally took a really thin liner because it looks a lot more scribbly that way. I'm holding my pen further away from the tip so that I don't have this death grip on my pen. That will just make it even more scribbly. I'm using short, small, and irregular lines. If you hold the pen like further away like this, you can't be perfect. There's no way you can have absolute control and make it super perfect. It's not the point. We're not here for perfection. We're here for playing. Just taking time out to play and scribble and doodle. So now I have some sort of petals going there. I'm gonna have a stem coming out, and I'm gonna have a leaf. Super basic. And then I'm going to make a few dots in the darker area where I added the brown. And that's it. From start to finish, this will take you 5 minutes. And you can have more flowers, you can just have the one flower. I'm quickly going to show you another version of a flower, just the doodling bit, because this is really easy to do. It's a blob of color and you left it to dry. The whole idea was just make a blob, doodle on top of it. So I'm taking the thicker pen, this is the 0.3, and I'm making small petals going right round, and I'm not making them perfect. And now I'm going a second time around. This is where the scribbly bit comes in. It's going to make those petals look intentionally scribbly. And then I'm going to do the scribbly circle in the middle. Going to add dots. And I'm going to add a stem. And a few leaves. That's another blobby flower. So if you are doing the challenge with me, comment in the comments and tell me that you're doing it with me, and enjoy making your blobby flowers. Tomorrow we are doing day 2 with another prompt that you will get tomorrow, and I'll show you how to do that with watercolor pencils. Thanks for joining me.